All right. Good morning, everybody. I can't call it early morning crypto talk this morning because I am getting started late. So good afternoon, good evening, for those of you depending on where you are calling in from. It is after 10 a.m. I just got up about 30 minutes ago. I noticed something. When I go swimming now, the older that I am, I noticed that it knocks me right out. I was swimming all day yesterday, and I went to bed before midnight, and just woke up at about 9:40 or so. Normally I'm not asleep until 2 or 3 a.m. So I realize I'm getting older, and swimming relaxes you. So I'm not complaining. I'm blessed that I can wake up whenever I'm finished sleeping. And we want you to be able to do the same thing. So who do we have on the line this morning? We've got Linda Marquez, Kamal Kelly, Kelvin Anderson, Desiree Potts, Terry Marino, Angel Nieves, Shauna Ross, Emma from Nigeria, Kathy from Hawaii, Justice LeBron from Puerto Rico, Mark Adamson, Vanita, Anthony Pinkston, Gerald Gardner, Bethany Gibbs. Good morning, good morning. As a disclaimer, I am not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I read the news, share my opinion, give suggestions, and it is up to you to make an informed, intelligent decision. There's 4 rules I live by in the crypto space. Rule number 1, education is key. Education is everything. Rule number 2, always get your return on investment. Rule number 3, never invest money you cannot afford to lose. And rule number 4, where do you see yourself in 3 months, 6 months, a year from now? What are you willing to do to make it happen? What is your vehicle or choice of vehicle? Stay focused. Do not get distracted. There's so many things out there that can distract you. You have limited resources. Now, this is not going to guarantee your success, but it will at least minimize your risk. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the most that we can ask for. All right. Justice has her little daughter on. Can't say little anymore. She's growing up big. Junebug. What's happening? It's good at this age. You start hearing and learning about crypto. This is your future. As I tell my kids the same thing. You're growing up in a world that is going to be radically and drastically different than the world we grew up in. Or my parents, the baby boomers, or the generation, World War II generation. Unprecedented growth. That's right, at age 15. So I hope I don't bore you and put you to sleep. But we're going to learn something new today. I woke up this morning, since I've been asleep for, 10 hours or so, to some news. I noticed the market broke 8,000. I'll give you an example. Last week, I got paid from Cryptogenics, right? I had not moved the money from the account I have it going to, the Bitcoin, because we get paid in Bitcoin. I had not touched it. I've made an extra $500 on top of what I made from last week. That's the power of crypto. So I made money from my work and effort. Actually, I really didn't do anything. And then, because the market went up, I made an extra $500 on top of that. That's a good week. I'll see how long I might just keep it there and see how high up this market is going to grow. So let's actually go to CoinMarketCap right now. I want to take a look. So Bitcoin is now at $8,186. The entire CoinMarketCap is at 298 billion. 298 billion. It is almost reaching the 300 billion mark. That means that within 2 weeks, it has grown about $45 billion. The market. I will get really excited when it crosses over $600 billion again. We'll know something's happening. It is up right now 5.95% over the last 24 hours. The entire market is green except Tether, or almost the entire market. Well, when you see the market mostly green, you'll see Tether in the red and vice versa. When the market's in the red, you'll see Tether in the green. I've already spoken why that happens. So you should already be educated on that. But there's been a lot of news lately about institutions, governments, and banks, and I've been covering this, that have been starting to realize the inevitable, that Bitcoin and crypto is here to stay. There's nothing they can do to stop it. Nobody's listening to the old haters anymore, like Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger and Ken Griffin. This is here to stay. The foundation is being built underneath our feet, and what's going to happen is new institutional money is going to come in, old institutional money for that matter. But, and I have to put a but in here before I read these articles, but I believe there's going to be another market correction before this summer is out, and it's going to drop back down to, I don't know, 6,500 before it starts to have a boom going into September and October. That's my own personal belief. I believe that the CME and the CBOE is actually doing market manipulation. They are purposely, forcefully keeping the market down, and they let it correct and run up a couple thousand points so that they can get their profit. Everybody gets excited, starts buying Bitcoin as it's going up. Then they let it drop again. And all the people who have no education about this space, they listen to the media and the news talking about it's a bubble, it's popping, and they sell all their Bitcoins. And then the rich people buy up all the Bitcoins. They're hoarding Bitcoin while it's cheap. So I think we still have one more, at least one more, and this has already happened 4 times this year, over the last 6 months. I believe it's going to happen at least one more time before we start to see a run-up past 10K, 15K, and 20K. Now, that is my own personal belief. That doesn't mean that's exactly what's going to take place. Oh, I didn't type this in there as well. The ETF. I might say I'll cover it this morning, and then I'll cover it again tonight. But first up, let's go geopolitics. EU study. International nature of cryptocurrency markets is a challenge for regulators. So let's see. And it should be a challenge because regulators can only regulate within their jurisdiction, their borders. You're going to try to regulate something that is international. An EU study claims that the international nature of the cryptocurrency markets is a challenge for European regulators because many players, especially miners, are outside their reach. The researchers also expect that bank-issued coins could reshape the balance of power among cryptos. Let me stop right there. Any bank-issued coin is not a cryptocurrency. I want to repeat this. Any bank-issued coin or government-issued coin is not a cryptocurrency. It is a government currency that they've digitized. Cryptocurrency is if it is decentralized. So I'm giving you a free educational tip here so that you can tell the difference, because there's a huge difference. Don't let them fool you. They're going to run off the hype of everybody getting excited about cryptocurrency. Then the government and the banks say, oh yeah, we have our own cryptocurrency. The first question you ask is, who's controlling it? If they say they're controlling it, they've pre-mined all the coins, they control all of that, it is not a cryptocurrency. It is digitized money that the banks control. All right, I'm going to make that point clear here because the author of this, I don't think is making that point. Ivey. So, a recent study titled Competition Issues in the Area of Financial Technology, which was requested by the European Parliament Committee on Economic and Monetary Affairs, raised a couple of interesting issues from a regulatory point of view. First, the researchers say that the international nature of cryptocurrency markets is a challenge to the implementation of competition policy at the European level. The paper explains that many of the players operate from locations outside the jurisdiction of EU competition authorities, which makes investigation or prosecution more difficult. The main weakness of European regulators is the concentration of the mining activity in non-European countries. The researchers write, mining is the most strategic, sophisticated, and technologically dependent activity in the cryptocurrency market, and there currently appears to be a significant concentration of mining activities occurring in certain Chinese provinces. That is true. The EU study also claims that the arrival of permissioned cryptocurrencies issued by banks, both commercial and central, will reshape the current competition level in the cryptocurrency market. A potential inadequacy of traditional policy to address competition issues in the cryptocurrency markets can be found, suggesting direct public participation through a central bank digital currency as a remedy. False. See what they're trying to say here? They're trying to say the way to, this is the Ronald Reagan approach. If something is introduced to the public and you didn't introduce it, meaning the government and the banks, then what you do is you criminalize it first. It's only for money laundering, criminal activity, so what they're saying is they want to put it in your mind, if you interact in this space, then you're a criminal. The second thing they do is they attempt to ban it. So first they're going to call you a criminal, then they're going to try to ban it. And when that doesn't work, the third thing they will do is attempt to regulate it, tax it to death, co-opt it, and make it their own. That's the stage they're at now. They've been trying to criminalize it and ban it for 8 years. Now they're trying to co-opt it. They just said right here, the remedy is creating a digital currency controlled through the central bank. That is not a cryptocurrency. And that is how they're going to attempt to fool the public masses who are not educated about crypto at all. They hear about Bitcoin, but they don't know what it is. They don't understand it. And the banks are going to swoop in and say, we've got a cryptocurrency backed by Bank of America, by Chase, by Wells Fargo. We got the Fed coin here. We got the Ruble coin. We got the Petro from Venezuela. Don't be fooled by that. It's a trap. The researchers warn that the market power of incumbent commercial banks might be used to limit competition in the cryptocurrency market through preemptive acquisitions or predatory pricing schemes. The banks may also engage in anti-competitive practices by denying access to their gateways for exchange or wallet services, such as payment and transfer systems or card processor schemes. This may be conducted by means of low service quality, delays in negotiation, proprietary technical standards, or excessive pricing. They say that these practices may deter consumers from using normal cryptocurrencies in favor of those promoted by the banks. Okay, let me break this down in layman's terms what they're saying. Remember how Facebook banned all cryptocurrency advertising? And then 2 months later announced, we have an entire division on blockchain technology and we're looking for ways to implement it in Facebook. What they did was they shut down the competition for 2 months while they got themselves ready and prepared. Google did the same thing. Here's what the banks are doing now. They know that they can't stop and they can't regulate crypto. Even Bill Gates said in 2014 that Bitcoin can't be stopped. So what they're going to do, create their own crypto coin. They're going to implement ways that they're going to force their customers to make it difficult on them dealing with cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin or Ethereum or something. Make the transactions difficult. Lock up your bank accounts if you're buying crypto coins in their banks using your accounts. Just basically make it a hassle and say, we've got an easier and better way. Use the bank's coin. And again, this is why education is so important. The rest of the public is going to follow suit. They're going to think they're in the cryptocurrency space when they're not. They're just using digital currency created by the banks. That's no difference than the US dollar and fiat money. You're already used to paying with debit cards right now anyway. Most people don't walk around with cash. I don't. I walk around. I always have money on me just because, but I never use it. I always use my debit card. So people are used to that. So what's the difference in their minds? Oh yeah, digital currency, so what? They're just, taking advantage of technology. But it is a trap. That is why, even though we are in the midst of the greatest economic financial revolution mankind has ever seen for the most amount of people, most people are going to miss it. So if you're listening right now, like Junebug is at 15 years old, Bethany's grandson, Andre, at a young age, you are separating yourself apart from 95% of the world's population. You can be flat out wealthy in the next 5 to 10 years. And it doesn't matter your age. Guess what? I have my son, my 10-year-old son, reading a book right now written by an 11-year-old about Bitcoin. And off the top of my head, I can't remember the freaking title of the book. But I have him reading it. An 11-year-old wrote a book about Bitcoin and blockchain. So it doesn't matter how old you are. I told my son, he'll have more money in his account than his college professors by the time he graduates from high school. All right, enough of that article. Let's move on to Crypto Vault in Hong Kong. Herd of institutional investors in crypto. A herd. Is that impacting the market? Because it looks like Bitcoin's or crypto market's gonna crack 300 billion today. A Hong Kong-based investment firm is planning to launch a new crypto custody service to address the growing interest from institutional clients. And we've covered the story today in Bitcoins in Brief. Also, in the daily, billionaire Mike Novogratz expects an influx of institutional investors into the crypto space. A new survey claims 30% of Brazilians want to invest in cryptocurrency, and an Australian startup shows what to do with excess tokens if the sale did not meet its target. Samsung stores in the Baltic states don't accept crypto after all. Copay explains why. Responding to increasing interest in cryptocurrencies from high net worth and institutional clients, a Hong Kong-based company is planning to launch a crypto custody service by the end of this year. Fusang Investment Office is an asset manager focused on Asian private family offices. Its Fusang Vault is expected to open for customers in the fourth quarter of 2018. Digital assets are akin to bearer bonds, whereby whoever that is holding the security is presumed to be the owner, and there is no registration of ownership information of the security. Hence, the way we keep digital assets secured is of paramount importance. Yes, it is, said CEO Henry Chong. Chong did not provide more details about the Fusang Vault's services. However, he shared that Fusang Investment is already working with insurers to provide cybersecurity insurance coverage for future clients and digital assets. Didn't I just do a Facebook Live about this the other day about insurance companies trying to insure, your wallets? I think that's a good idea, because if you're involved in crypto, you are your bank. You are responsible for your coins. Proper storage of them. Do not, I repeat, do not store your coins on exchanges. Only have enough money on the exchanges that you're actually trading with. Don't use it as a wallet. Know how to protect your private keys. In Cryptogenics, we have 2 or 3 lessons that just goes over security, goes over storage of your coins, how to protect your coins so they don't get hacked, and you don't lose them. Because once they're lost, you can't call the police. There's nothing they can really do. So when you start having a whole lot of coins, then security really becomes important. Here's one free tip. Never store all your coins in the same wallet. Have multiple wallets, multiple paper wallets or cold storage devices. That's another free tip. If you look at on the blockchain.info, or I think it's even blockchain.com now, you're able to see the biggest account holders of Bitcoin. And when you look at that, you can see how many Bitcoin is in accounts. I guarantee you several of those accounts are owned by the same individual. They don't have all their coins in the same account. I have one associate who's got over 100 Bitcoin wallets. 100. There's different reasons why he does that, because he doesn't like paying taxes. He's got it so spread around, the IRS has no idea how much coins he actually owns. I'm not saying you should do that, and since I am public and this is being recorded, pay your taxes and always report your earnings. Now, I'm not a licensed financial advisor, so you can end up doing whatever you want, but I just want to make sure I'm on record saying that. I pay my taxes and I report my earnings. It is not worth it trying to think I can game the system, beat the IRS, because eventually they're going to figure this out. And they will go back on you 2 or 3 years for back taxes. And you do not want that happening to you. All right. Prominent hedge fund manager Michael Novogratz expects more financial institutions into the crypto space. He calls it a herd of institutional investors is headed towards cryptocurrencies, that he said in a speech in Korea last week. In an interview with The Street, he added, "I think institutional investors are slowly coming to the realization that blockchain will be internet or Web 3.0, and they'll want to participate just like they want to participate in the web." You guys see that? Novogratz, who earlier this year raised $250 million to launch Galaxy, a merchant bank trading cryptocurrencies and invest in blockchain projects, also said that institutional investors will first participate through venture capital funds. Many of them are already participating. Do you know how much you need to participate in a venture capital fund? If you're in the stock market, at least $250,000. In the crypto space, it's at $500,000. They're not dropping $200 in or $1,000 in. $500,000 in the crypto space. Many of them are already participating because they've invested in Sequoia or Polychain or Benchmark or many of the other VC funds that invest in this area. He added, according to the billionaire investor, the second step for these players will be to buy coins or even acquire ICOs. A third of Brazilians are interested in crypto investments. That's larger than the United States population that's interested. Amid rising popularity of cryptocurrencies around the world, a new study reveals that about 30% of Brazilians are interested or intend to invest funds in cryptocurrencies sometime in the near future. The survey, carried out by cybersecurity firm Avast, also found that more than 84% of the 1,900 people polled were aware of and familiar with cryptocurrencies. The results published by the local crypto outlet, Portal do Bitcoin, also show that 44% of the respondents agreed to websites using their computing power to mine cryptocurrencies in exchange for an ads-free surfing experience. At the same time, more than 86% of the surveyed admitted they were concerned about their devices being infected with mining malware. Half of the rest believed they would not be affected because they did not own any cryptos. Australian startup Bitcar burns its unsold tokens. What? A company building a platform to support crypto payments for fractional ownership. Fractional ownership? What does that mean? Or collectible car brands has decided to demonstrate what a startup could do when its ICO did not attract as much capital as expected. Bitcar launched its ICO last year, hoping to raise $25 million at the start of 2018. Investors were offered to buy the Bitcar tokens that would allow them to pay for a share of a luxury vehicle. All right. The moment, if I saw something like that, I would have ran in the other direction. That looks to have like scam written all over it. I think it's a little bit too early trying to pull something like that off. Says the firm wanted to buy the cars on their behalf with the intention to hold them for around 15 years. 15 years? 15 years? Not too, I mean, not go into that. 15 years. Not in this space. People can't see past 5 weeks. And you want them to think 15 years? Nope. Let me go past that. Let's see. All right, enough of that article. Let's go on to the next. Bitcoin breaks $8,000. as selected alts see slight recovery. Bitcoin breaks 8,000. So let's see why they say this might be happening and this might be taking place. July 24th, Bitcoin broke through the $8,000 price point this morning as the top cryptocurrency continues to outperform most other crypto assets, according to data from Coin360. In the days following the strong upswing that kicked off across the crypto market on July 16th and accelerated further on July 17th, Bitcoin has sustained positive momentum while other alts slid into negative territory. Bitcoin is trading around $8,009 to press time, up 3.9% on the day. The leading asset gained over $200 within the space of an hour and a half this morning to hit $7,991 and then broke the $8,000 resistance level, peaking at a 24-hour high. So since it broke that resistance level, this might slide all the way up to $9,000. We'll see, and that could happen within 2 days. Bitcoin's weekly and monthly gains are now at around 3.8 and 34% respectively, according to data from CoinMarketCap. Oh, that's another hint, guys. If you do not understand trading, like you don't know how to read an exchange, if you have Binance, if you have Bittrex, Poloniex, then make sure you have you know the website coinmarketcap.com. That can give you a very good, clear, spot check on what the market is doing. CoinMarketCap.com. Make sure you are familiar with it. I always have it up on my screen on one of my computers. CoinMarketCap.com. All right, yesterday, BTC dominance by market capitalization in the crypto market reached its highest level yet in 2018, passing 46%. That is important. Back in December 2017, when the coin market cap had reached $900 billion, Bitcoin was at $19,000. Its market dominance was around 32%, 32%, because the altcoins rose. But right now we're seeing Bitcoin rising kind of on its own. And the altcoins are kind of straggling just a little bit. So today's dominance now... Oh, wait. It's telling me right here. Let me finish reading it. Crypto market reached its highest level at 46%, a threshold last seen in December 20th when the coin was trading close to an industry highs of $20,000. Today, dominance has inched up yet further to 46.8% by press time. Ethereum is trading around $468, up 1.2%, having peaked at $510 on July 18th. The asset's subsequent decline saw it dip to $444 by July 20th. Today, the altcoin has seen modest growth, reaching a 24-hour high of $472. Ethereum has lost just under 1% on this week, but is now up 4.77% for the month. On CoinMarketCap's listing, the top 10 coins by market cap are seeing mixed red and green, with some alts seeing solid growth of above 4%. Litecoin is up over 3.5% on the day, trading at around $87, according to CoinMarketCap. I remember Litecoin. I bought that for the very first time. I think it was like $10, $15 back in this February, March of 2017. All right. Meanwhile, EOS, IOTA, and Cardano are all down, seeing losses of within 1 to 2% range on the day by press time. Cardano is one of my, I call it my dark horse favorites for long term. I think Cardano is going to be explosive. So we'll see. We'll see how that is. And let's see here. Total market cap of all cryptocurrencies is around $294 billion at press time, inching closer to its intra-weekly high of around $300 billion. While the market is seeing a more mixed picture today, Bitcoin's recent divergence from other crypto assets has prompted CNBC trading advisor Rand Neuner to venture that we may be on the cusp of a bull market. The analyst attributes the top coin's strong performance to news earlier this month that the $6.3 trillion asset manager and ETF giant BlackRock is beginning to assess potential involvement in Bitcoin. I read about that one also, about BlackRock. While many hold the view that crypto-based ETFs would be a holy grail for the crypto industry, news that BlackRock may also be eyeing an entry into Bitcoin futures trading could prove more divisive, given suggestions from figures including Fundstrat's Tom Lee that Bitcoin's gut-wrenching price weakness this spring was tied to futures contract expirations. In May, the Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco had similarly alleged that Bitcoin's price decline was the result of the introduction of futures trading on CBOE and then CME in December 2017. And I agree. That's why I think the market dropped and has stayed down. This week, CME revealed that the average daily volume of Bitcoin futures on its platform increased by 93% in the second quarter over first quarter in 2018, also indicating that the number of open contracts had exceeded 2,400, a 58% increase over the first quarter. Now, I'm going to save this other article for tonight because it's going to give you some insight on when the next bull market may take place. When the Bitcoin ETF is nearly certain to win approval later this year. When gold had an ETF, the price of gold skyrocketed when their ETF was introduced. And experts are saying the same thing will happen for Bitcoin. When the Bitcoin ETF is introduced, that's when you're going to see the run from 20,000 to 50,000. And that's expected to take place later this year. So that would, and I think the futures, they know this as well. And they're waiting on that. So we probably now have maybe 2 or 3 months, at best maybe 4 months, of enjoying Bitcoin being below $10,000. Because there's going to come a time when you say, I remember when Bitcoin was less than 10,000 bucks. Because they ain't never going to get below that again. That's my own opinion. So you only got a couple of good months now. And ultimately, you want to own at least one full Bitcoin and stash it away. Stash it away somewhere. That's the goal. You want to own one good Bitcoin. Hey, Donovan, where's that book I told you to read that 11-year-old wrote? Is it on your desk?
No.
Do you remember the title of it?
The early bird gets the Bitcoin.
The early worm gets the Bitcoin? What's it called?
The
Early bird gets the Bitcoin? Okay, so for those of you that have children and you want them to get in and learn about this Bitcoin and crypto stuff, there's a book written by an 11-year-old called Early Bird Gets the Bitcoin. It's like $6 or so on Amazon. Early Bird Gets the Bitcoin, written by an 11-year-old. And I'm going to leave you today by reading some quotes. I read these quotes every day because it reminds me of where we're headed. Especially when you are listening to people around you who don't understand what Bitcoin is all about, and they call it a fraud, they call it a scam, they say it's not going to go anywhere, they call it a bubble, they point to Warren Buffett, they point to all these haters and critics. Listen to this. Blockchain technology could change our world more than people could imagine. Jack Ma, the richest man in China. How about this? Blockchain massively lowers the barriers to creating tradable digital assets. It allows individuals who don't know each other or even trust one another to make irreversible transactions in a whole variety of fields in a safe and secure way. Stanford University. Blockchain solutions will boost transparency in governments, reducing fraud and helping to build a better public goods infrastructure for improved organization and distribution of goods and public services. The Indian government. Virtual currencies may, will become part of the economic practices of any country, anywhere. Let me repeat that. These currencies are not going away, and they will proliferate to every economy and every part of the planet. Some places, small economies, may become dependent on virtual assets for survival. And these currencies will be outside traditional monetary intermediaries like government, banks, investors, ministries, or international organizations. We are witnessing a technological revolution. Perhaps we are witnessing a modern miracle. You'd think that was a freaking prophet saying that, but it was the CFTC chairman, Rostin Binham. And last but not least, moreover, what we view as money has changed over time. Cowrie shells once were such a medium, but no longer are. Our currency originally included gold coins and bullion, but after 1934, gold could not be used as a medium of exchange. Perhaps one day, employees will be paid in Bitcoin or some other type of cryptocurrency. You know who said that? Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer. So whether you believe in this or not, whether you understand it or not, whether you get involved in it or not, is irrelevant. It is going to happen anyway, and you are left with a choice. A choice to benefit and profit from it right now, or become a consumer of it down the road, unwillingly. You're not going to have a choice. You're going to wake up one day and you're going to see Bitcoin ATM machines all over the place and wonder when did that happen? Yesterday I did a Facebook Live geared and targeting women. Women. Even young girls like Junebug. What you can do right now to position yourself to have 5 and 6 figures coming in automatically, allowing your money to work for you. See, most people are trading time for money on a 9-to-5 job. But if you really get yourself involved and do it right way in the crypto space, then you can let your money work for you, and you can be like me and wake up at freaking 10 a.m. on a Tuesday. And not worry about, oh, I'm late for my job. It's going to be hot again today. I think 105, 106. So we're going swimming again. So if you missed that Facebook Live, I did make a YouTube video out of it. And it's also on, in fact, I'll pull up the link and I will post that link right here. So if you missed that Facebook Live, you can go back and listen to it again. And the information is also useful for men. But I had it geared towards the women, because 95% of people involved in crypto are men. And Jeremy's right. Set yourself up for success now. You don't want to wait until it gets popular, because by that time, it's already too late. When you start seeing the news, start getting all excited about it and talking about it, it's too late. So education is important, so that you can get it on it before the news gets wind of it. All right, that's the link to the video for the Facebook Live, and I will see all of you. Let's see, today's Tuesday. Okay, so Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern tonight, I will be doing late night crypto talk. And one of the articles I'm going to cover is the Bitcoin ETF nearly certain to win approval later this year. At 9 p.m. Eastern, I'll be doing a KGX presentation about crypto education and mining, the GreenX mining rigs. We are at the edge of our seats about these rigs. We have new information coming this week, so stay tuned for that. But I will be doing a presentation at 9 p.m. Eastern, but before that I'll be doing late night crypto talk at 8 p.m. Eastern. So I'll see you then. Everybody have a great, fantastic day. God bless. Bitcoin Brandon out. Bye-bye.
Crypto Gen X.